Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Before getting into everything, I have to say thank you so much for the immense support on the latest video. I've read most comments with everyone's experience with early Deepwoken and I'll make sure to get into that in this video as well. If you have any experiences with old Deepwoken, make sure to write them down below. Also, if you like this type of content, make sure to like and subscribe since it really helps a lot. So, after my video got pretty much the whole community's attention, the Deepwoken developers finally listened to our pleas somewhat, and you'll see what I mean by that in a bit. So on paper, this newest patch is everyone's dream, and everything I talked about in the previous video was pretty much fixed. The movement was reverted to how it was before. Boats are finally fixed, and they even added some perfect quality of life changes. And yet another thing that's really impressive, and it's been talked about lately, Agamatsu, who is now a main developer for Deepwoken, has officially started testing for the new luminant. And hear me out, the testing is public as well, so everyone was able to test all the new additions firsthand. So with everything laid out on the table, let's go and see if there's anything wrong with any of them. Oh boy, get ready. First off, the movement is apparently back as how it's supposed to be. Really nice, right? Well, not really. What they did is try and mimic the old movement with this new engine and somehow failed miserably. But Zako, what do you mean by failing miserably? They managed to add infinite climbing back. Infinite climbing. Let that sink in for a bit. Yes, infinite climbing is indeed back. Also, in typical Deepwoken developer fashion, this revert came with a lot of new bugs. For example, sometimes when you try to jump, your character acts like their kneecaps are literally broken. See that little tiny hop right there? Yeah, that was supposed to be my jump. And also they somehow managed to break air dashes, but I'm not going to go that deep into this movement revert. So let's go into the next category, which is boats are finally fixed. After all this time, the boat update actually fixed boats, right? Please tell me they did, please.
Say it with me! Kill my music!
Oh, and I think they missed a little something in the patch notes. The thing about quality of life changes, but it's nothing too important, just a small bug that comes with it. But here, I'll let you guys know about it because why not? You can't progress any build right now. Progressing is dead. They killed it. And how? They removed Shrine of Order. I'm not even joking. The thing that literally distinguishes Deepwoken from any single game out there in a hotfix. This is the reason today's video wasn't even depth saving like it was supposed to be. I made a really cool Flame Charm Iron Sing build that I cannot progress for the video because Shrine has been broken for like 4 days now. But it's whatever, they'll fix in the next week's patch, and I'm 99% sure at this point that them fixing Shrine of Order is gonna result in the other 10 shrines in the game no longer working. But hear me out, the newly added luminant that's been worked on will surely save the game, right? I mean, everyone was asking for a new luminant, new stuff to explore, new oaths that come with it, new weapons to obtain with quests tied to them, right? Well, I'm just going to straight up rip the Bane-Dead for this one. The new luminant is barely a luminant at all, and instead they made it a PvP only luminant. Like, how do you even manage to... What the actual are they thinking? So pretty much what they did is they took the Conquest map, which got cancelled a long time ago. Even the map, it looks interesting to say the least, and literally slapped the war mode we already have on top of the new map. That's all. That's the whole new luminant. No PvE confirmed, and probably for the rewards of winning, you get some relics and the artist conquest weapon that was leaked like 2 whole years ago. And right now, the game is PvP only. For better or for worse, every update is aimed at PvP, and even the new legendaries have a mostly PvP focus. The PvE is just a side dish to the main dish that is Deepwoken's PvP, and it's made as a way to obtain better gear so you can do better in PvP. And this again ties into the idea of the developers losing the main idea of the game, the thing that gave Deepwoken its spark, which is the lore and the PvE side as well. If Deepwoken released in the state in which it is right now, it'd just be another battleground slop game with some PvE elements just thrown in there. And I know this killed the vibe for many of you out there listening, especially those who got in the game for the sake of PvE. And another thing, I'm not too sure what the end game for Deepwoken is supposed to be right now, except for maybe stuff like the enmity boss fight and Diluvian. We don't really have a final boss added, and those bosses, I'm gonna be honest, feel like they're again tied into the battlegrounds theme, if it makes any sense. Like, there's not that much lore or even build up like we have with Ethereon, for example, the final layer 2 boss. It's just there. You go up an elevator with 5 people and the boss spawns. That's it. Diluvian, same thing. It's just mindless ability spam, and it tests your ability to stat check every monster in the game. And by reading everyone's comments in the latest video, I can genuinely tell that everyone is on the same page with me. How do you even make such an awesome game and then forget everything that made it popular in the first place? Is exactly the way I would like to put it as well. Bear in mind, Deepwoken has been out for nearly 4 years, and yet we've only gotten one major update, being layer 2. And I don't count world events or Titus dungeon, as those were minuscular in comparison and not game changing at all. Which is again true, unfortunately. The last real update we got was layer 2, and since then the updates only got smaller and smaller. And the best comment, in my opinion, genuinely, exploration, was Nomad Studios, which is now named Deepwoken Staff for some unknown reason. Strong suit dating back to Rogue Lineage, which is Nomad Studios' previous game. The fact they ain't add no new islands for 2 whole years is baffling to me. And trust me, it's not just you, but everyone. On release, we used to have plenty of abilities that were simply there for the sake of helping you explore and making it easier to reach new areas. But now, those talents are long gone, removed from the game, since nobody needs help exploring anything anymore, which is low-key kinda sad. And the worst part, for me at least, since I'm a content creator and a build maker as well, is that in every single one of these new updates, you literally cannot tell what's intended and what's not intended. And this creates a lot of confusion between build makers and causes a lot of time to be wasted for the people that simply want to make a build. And here's the perfect example. The recently added talent that costs 200 investment points, Frozen Anchor, is currently bugged. The talent in theory is really good, letting you keep your opponents in place on every single uppercut or critical, but it's bugged, and you can't tell whether it's working or not until the very end of your build progression, because again, it's a talent that requires 200 investment points in a game that only has 300 in total. So you waste 75% of your stat points in a talent that doesn't even work. And how it's broken right now is simply because of a coding overload. For the sake of balancing, the effect that keeps your opponent in place, bottom freeze, acts like this. Once the status is applied, a timer starts. If the timer ends without anything happening, then the opponent can simply break out of the ice effect and walk away unharmed. But because this can very easily be abused, they made an extra check. If the opponent, while stuck to the ground, takes more than X hits, let's say, end the timer short and break them free. Sounds really good in theory, right? But here's the thing, some weapons have a bleed effect, which applies their damage over time in very quick successions of smaller damage. So of course, this results in the following. You uppercut to apply the effect, but since the bleed damage ticks apply only after the status effect, the counter of X hits is reached and they're free to go without them even noticing they were stuck to the ground in the first place. So yeah, this is yet another problem with most of the recent patches. No one knows whether the new shiny things even work in the first place. And lastly, for those saying that all I do nowadays is simply doom post about the end of Deepwoken and how literally everyone left and it's completely over, it's not quite that. With the latest video, I managed to bring attention to the most important issues with the game, and I'm gonna be honest, to even my surprise, someone on the dev team watched the video and some things got fixed. Deepwoken is not dead at all. Deepwoken will always be that one game you truly never quit, you just take long breaks from it. If they drop a real new luminant or layer 3, I can assure everyone that the game will peak again to like 20 to 30k players. But until then, we really need to get something straight, because if it's gotten to the point where I can't even progress my builds for a video, it's bad. Like really, really bad. So yeah, if you have any more experiences with old Deepwoken, please make sure to leave them down in the comments, because I genuinely enjoy a lot reading through them. And if you've liked this video, make sure to like and subscribe, since it literally helps me a lot. Thank you so much everyone for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Whenever they fix Shrine of Order, I guess.